What's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and we are here for episode number 2 of the Shockcast. I'm Jay, and I'm here today with Mark. How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? Madman in the house.
So we did episode 1.5, which I think I referred to 1.1 or 1 point something or another. It ended up as 1.5 with the first kind of reboot, if you will, of the Shockcast, and we're finally here with episode 2 today. Thank you to everybody that watched. Over 500 views. Not too bad for a little, starting point. So hopefully you enjoyed it and you'll be back for some more. I know that Mark and I enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to this one. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm definitely excited. I mean, content today, we're going to talk about the Vengeance map pack for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Pretty excited about it. 4 maps plus a new multiplayer.
Yeah, so this is the last map pack, I believe, for Black Ops 2. Is that correct?
That is accurate.
Yeah, so...
what's the last promised one?
Yeah, so. Right. Well, I mean, we are, in July, and Ghost is only, 4 months away, so, it seems like their normal pattern to kind of be done with, the previous game.
They sometimes sneak one in, though. They'll sneak a bonus map in, which they had planned and doesn't really fit with Ghost, or whatever the next iteration is. So sometimes they sneak in like a free one to give us, or maybe a reskinned old one that they didn't fit into the other map packs. So, but more than likely, yes, we're officially done.
So there's 4 new maps on Vengeance. We've got Uplink, we've got Detour, Rush, and Cove. And, I feel like they're all pretty cool maps. One of them is a reskin, kind of like the last map pack had a reskin. Before we get into talking specifically about the maps, what are your thoughts on them taking quote-unquote classic maps and just rehashing them and making you pay for it again?
On one hand, it kind of stinks just because you're paying for them.
Yeah.
And you already had them. And most of them are original maps from previous games, too, so you never paid for them originally except for buying the game. However, the big thing is they always bring back the popular maps. So the ones that were always voted for in selection, like high on the rotation map. So, for instance, if you don't mind me just breaking into it, Uplink is a rehashed version of Summit, which is, out of all the Call of Duty games of all time, for me, this is my favorite map. It's actually that's the whole clan's favorite map. So
it's not hard to see why you'd be excited about that. So, I get that. And Uplink is a pretty cool map. At first, I didn't realize it was a reskin because, Call of Duty is not as much of my game as maybe some of the others. I played them. I play it until I rage, and then I rage quit multiplayer. Moving forward.
Rage again.
Yeah, and then rage again, and get suckered into playing some more and rage again. So, but as I'm playing Uplink for the first time, not realizing that it was a reskin, I'm like, man, this feels like so familiar. And then you kind of, broke it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that map. And I'm pretty sure that was the first map that I played on, what was it, on Black Ops? The first Black Ops, right?
For Uplink / Summit?
No, Summit.
Yeah, Summit was from the first. Yeah, Summit was from the first Black Ops.
Right. So I'm pretty sure the only good game I ever had on Black Ops was on that map, and I might even have it on YouTube somewhere.
Nice.
So, and by good game I mean 30 and 30. So it's fucking brutal. I got a lot of kills, but I died a million times doing it, and half of them were probably falling off the friggin' map. So, needless to say, Uplink is pretty cool. I felt like I remembered it pretty well, and I didn't play Black Ops that much, but, if it's a popular map, I can definitely see where, they would reskin it. I guess, map packs have traditionally had, 4 new maps? Pretty much always? Or
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
I guess I just wish... I know that there's a lot of new art assets maybe that go into reskinning a map, but, the basic fundamentals of the map are made. I kind of wish it was just a bonus map per se,
Sure.
you know, and not just like the fourth map.
Like Nuketown was, honestly, at launch. Nuketown, you know what I mean? That's a reskinned, you know, Nuketown 2025 is a reskinned Nuketown.
Right.
And that was a bonus map for pre-order. So, and then eventually they gave it to everybody for free and added it to almost every rotation. So yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it definitely feels like 3.5 maps.
Right.
But it's really nice to see how the new kill streaks, the new score streaks, your kit setups play on some of these older maps.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to be able to drop into a map pack
and already have one that you kind of know.
Have one like pared down already.
Sure. Now, you know, obviously there's so many different game modes that you can play. Uplink, what do you feel like are kind of like the go-to game modes that really fit the way that Uplink plays?
Yeah, so Uplink can lend itself to a lot of camping. There's a lot of really good choke points. So the type of game modes that you would want to play on this are ones that like force you to go towards an objective. So headquarters, and actually I'm just going to say headquarters because I played a couple hard points and I didn't love it here. It's a little bit too nade happy because the map's really not that big. It's the smallest on the medium scale as far as what Treyarch considers like in map sizing.
Right.
So it's definitely like a small medium. And on the other side of it, if you did want to play just kind of like a killer game mode, I think that Kill Confirmed also plays well because you can't just sit behind your box the whole time and expect to hit your score streaks easily. So I'm going to go with headquarters and Kill Confirmed on this one.
Okay. So, like, you know, you pretty much know that I'm very much an objective-oriented kind of player.
Yeah.
Just mostly because I can't do the, you know, hiding in corners and camping and stuff like that. Yeah, so I like Kill Confirmed is so much better than just straight out deathmatch. I don't like deathmatch in pretty much any game. Yep. I think it's just not very. I just like objective oriented games. So, but Kill Confirmed, I kind of like it because like there is still an objective, even though it's basically deathmatch. But you know, in order to really win, you kind of have to, you know, go get those dog tags and stuff. And I feel like I do a good job whenever I do play, going after the dog tags and you know, getting the caps.
Well, there's a little bit more strategy than just team deathmatch. You know, it's not just run after your tags. Like, got to kill, run after the tag. You know, you got to be a little bit more smart. You know, you have to think a little bit more about it. The good news is, it still allows for some pretty heavy score streaks because you're getting 50 for the kill and 100 for the tag. So it is higher than deathmatch. Deathmatch is just getting a straight 100. So I don't know.
I think with Call of Duty in general, I've always just been a huge headquarters guy. Like, I feel like that's my objective-based game with Call of Duty, and it's weird because like in Battlefield, I'm a conquest player, which is domination. So I'll play domination if I ever stop raging long enough to play Call of Duty. But I really enjoy headquarters the most, I feel like. So it's interesting that that's kind of a big game type that you think for Uplink.
Yeah, you know, to be fair about Conquest, though, it feels to me a lot more deathmatch a lot of the times.
On Conquest? Like, are we talking Battlefield?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't totally agree because I play it so much, but I can see where, you know, you would say that. Do you feel like domination works that way?
A lot of times, especially on the linear maps, which I think we're going to get.
You just kind of camp the flag.
Right. I mean, we're going to get into it. Like, everybody hustles, gets B, and then backs up and try to hold the area, and it turns into TDM. So, but
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, without further ado, I think we're going to move on to our second map here.
Exactly, which is Detour, a.k.a. Highway Bridge, which, speaking to what you were saying about the way that domination kind of works, this is a very linear map, very, you know, tight quarters, you know, east to west, but it's long, you know, north-south, if you will.
I mean, it's a bridge. Let's preface it with that. It's literally a bridge.
And so when you see the holes in the bridge, that's not to let you drop to another level. That's to drop you to your imminent doom. I found that out the hard way.
You're right into the water.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, look at this hole. I wonder if I can jump down there and run. No, I will die. Okay, well, yeah. So that's how that works, and I am a pro at falling in holes. So, surprisingly, considering how linear the map is, I found myself enjoying this one quite a bit. What do you think for best game modes? I mean, I know Domination is probably one you're going to say, and I can see where the joy in that would come, because I have to go to what I know, which is obviously Battlefield. I feel like it's kind of like the Metro, Operation Metro,
yeah. Absolutely.
Of this map pack. Metro everybody loves because it's one side takes A, the other side takes C, and then it's just a matter of pushing until fighting over B, and that's definitely, I can see how Detour would play out.
Yeah, that's definitely accurate, man. It's going to be Cap A, Cap C, everybody fight for B. Every once in a while, you'll try to have somebody sneak around on the far left or the far right, kind of like Hijack, where you try to go up the lanes. There's a little bit of an underpass that you only have to come up for a couple seconds. So you could try to sneak around if they have B on hard, like on a nice hard lock. I'm pretty happy with the map, and that's why I think Dom will play out well, because the maps that are linear now in Call of Duty tend to play out well in Dom because it's more of a firefight. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll play out well.
Now here's my question, because in Battlefield this is your designated spawn point, and this is your designated spawn point, and obviously Call of Duty doesn't really work that way. When somebody like 3 caps, the flags, what happens?
They're going to spawn on the sides.
Okay.
So to the left and to the right, to the left of A and the right of C, there's this like under bridge area. It's like a service area for the bridge. You'll start spawning there, and we've actually been able to lock a couple times so far.
Yeah. Okay. That I guess that's kind of what I was interested to know, if you can kind of spawn lock people. That's just, I guess, kind of interesting. I'm sure that is probably half the fun in being good at Call of Duty and playing a game mode like Domination on Detour, is trying to get to the spawn lock.
Yeah, the game doesn't get as much. The game's not really as fun, though, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, everybody likes a good shooting gallery every once in a while, though.
That's one way to put it. Most of us are pretty good on it, though. We don't like it. We like to have at least some fun, let you get out of your spawn, make a game out of it. So that's our opinion.
Yeah. Sure. Now, what else do you think will play out really well with Detour?
I think Search and Destroy is actually going to be really good, even though it's a roughly wide open map. There are some spots to go in, and there's definitely some lanes to own, and it'll be one of the slower Search and Destroy maps, because you really don't want to run up the middle. Mm-hmm. So it'll be fun, though.
Very good. Now, as far as our next map, if you'd like to, I guess I can introduce it, even though it's
I'm sorry. On Rush is out of the 4 maps. I just realized we were done. I'm sorry. Rush, I'm pretty excited about, man. This is the paintball field. It's a indoor-outdoor paintball field. So the map's kind of split into 3. There's this high right area that gives you a little bit of Overwatch towards the middle, but definitely closer to their spawn. It also gives you a quick juke to their spawn. And then there's an indoor paintball field, which is really cool. It's got all the inflatables on it that you would normally see in a paintball game. And you get into some really cool gun matches with it, like you would in paintball, where we're just kind of deking around certain areas and crawling past to see if you can get a closer shot or a better angle on a team. I've had the most fun on Rush by far. game modes on this one, it is a small map.
I noticed that. It did feel kind of smaller, even for like a Call of Duty map, but I thought that was kind of advantageous towards, having just, fast-paced, really fun action.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, it's one of the more hyper maps, per se. And while I don't usually like hardpoint on small maps, on this particular map, it's really good. And the reason being is because of those sections I was talking about.
Right.
Where there's a high side, a middle, and the left side, and even the front and back. They're kind of segregated where you can hold it down with a team, which is why like hardpoint works real well on hijacks. Because even though it's a small map and the respawns are quick, it is separated enough to where you can actually set up some defensive lines and like a grid to try to score some heavy points and anchor the side that you want. So Rush is going to be really good for hardpoint. It's also really awesome for party games. So pretty much any free-for-all mode, it's really fun because of the smaller sides, and you don't necessarily get a person spawned right behind you.
So, that was actually one of the things that I was kind of worried about is, like, the spawns can be so random sometimes, and granted, most of my gameplay is not with live people because then I would just fucking kill myself. But it was more so with...
Way to be emo, Shockcast.
Yeah, well, it was more so with the bots, and I know we were playing like 8-on-4 because they're bots, but like,
sure.
I felt like they spawned a lot, like just right next to me. So, does it actually play out that way when you're playing against people when it's like even sides?
No, if somebody spawns right next to you, there's usually at least a barrier between you. Okay, so like they have to run around a circle to get you, or if you're camping in one spot, though, you're definitely going to get rolled on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, the theme of all the maps really so far, I really feel like they're pretty exciting maps, and this one obviously being kind of a bit smaller. I think really for Call of Duty, part of what... So, like, it's weird because there's no in-between for me. Part of the challenge in playing is when I play Call of Duty, I feel like the game is either too fast for me or it's too slow. And I feel like, this is definitely a faster map.
It is. It is absolutely a faster map. In fact, I kind of want to mention something. I know it's not necessarily on the agenda, but I did finally get a chance to play a couple Capture the Flag games on Rush. And it was actually really fun for the runner. A little bit tougher for the defender. Because if you only play two back on defense, or if you play like a 3 mid, which a lot of teams have been getting into, by the way, like 2 attackers, 3 mid, and just 1 on like straight defense. And those mid guys really are defense focused first. It's like never let more than 1 or 2 runners get past them at once. On this map, it feels like you can grab the flag and be halfway across the map before you pop up again. So Capture the Flag, the debate's still out, but that might be a really good mode for this map too.
It'd be great if they just created, like for this map only, like an actual paintball mode.
I'm down for that. I would love to do that. There's never really been a good paintball game.
There's like there is actually a paintball game, believe it or not, like Greg Hastings.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like that.
It's horrible. For as amazing of a paintballer he is, because he really is an amazing paintballer. It was a horrible game. It even came out with Greg Hastings too, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
But I wouldn't call it good.
So I mean, it would just be kind of funny if they had a paintball mode. So anyway, last but not least, actually, like, I think more aesthetically than anything, but I kind of think this is my favorite map of the 4, Cove, which looks like you're, gonna roll up next to Tom Cruise in a volleyball.
No,
or not Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. No, I Cove for me is AKA the opening scene of Lost.
Yeah.
It's even coupled with a broken down jet.
Yeah, I mean, it's very Pirates of the Caribbean for me too. I mean, obviously not with the broken down jets and everything, but obviously, tropical island. Lots of little, kind of foresty lanes, I guess you would say.
Sure.
The broken down plain in the middle that you mentioned that you can go through kind of 3 different ways.
Yeah.
There's
you
a little
you can hop up into the cockpit for an overwatch.
Yeah, I was going to say there's even a little bit of an overwatch, both in the plane and looking at the cockpit. It's got like a little bit of not a mountain, but a mountainous hill kind of thing. There's a lot going on. There is parts where you can kind of walk around in the water. Again, most of it might be aesthetic for me, but I really, really like that map. I feel like it's really kind of different from a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, what are your impressions right off the bat? Like, how do you think that map's going to play out game mode wise? I've been lucky enough to play almost everything on that map now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, I can definitely. I mean, obviously, what we played was kill confirmed, and I think that game mode I like a lot, and you can really play anywhere. Being a headquarters guy, I can definitely see that playing out really well, because there are a lot of places where you can put a headquarters that have a lot of ways to get there, and it's for as many obstacles as there are, walls, if you will, to kind of prevent you from shooting at somebody. It is a pretty open map for the most part. I mean, I feel like there's ways to kill people from pretty far out, even though there's all this like shrubbery in the middle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. You got to think of it like so first off, just to get a little bit more details for anybody that hasn't played the map yet, it's a big hexagon, and across it there's just all these rock formations and pillars. It's about like 3/4 of a square mile. So it's a true medium-sized map, but because it's a hexagon, there's only a couple very long points to run.
Right.
I agree with you. I think it's definitely going to play itself well for headquarters. And I don't want to say that all these maps are good for headquarters, but this particular one is going to be really good for the teams that, if they recognize that they've spawned all the way across the map, they slow down, group up, and attack from a couple different ways to get them either off the headquarters or let them cap it and then immediately destroy it. So I think headquarters is going to play really, really well in this one. Hardpoint, which I think is what we call like a suggested game mode on it.
Okay.
I'm a little antsy about that now. Some of the hardpoints are just really tough.
Yeah.
It gets. We've had a whole bunch of games go to time on it.
Uh-huh. I
don't want to say a whole bunch, but we've had a few games go to time on it, which usually means that the battles are pretty crazy.
Gotcha. I just think it's a pretty map to look at, if you will.
No, yeah, it's gorgeous. They did an awesome job making this map as far as aesthetics are concerned.
Yeah, I think aesthetically, pretty much all the maps are pretty cool. Some of the maps that they've put out have been kind of dreary, but I liked this one.
Really? What maps did you think were dreary?
I'm probably thinking of Modern Warfare 3, to be honest, actually.
Oh, yeah. Worth, in my semi-professional opinion, I wasted my money on my season pass for that.
Yeah.
I didn't like any. We ended up, like, making a guy uninstall all his updates just so we could just play core maps.
Yeah, so, now that I think of it, I think this kind of goes back to the whole Treyarch Infinity Ward thing we talked about the first time around. How you and I kind of go against the trend of it's the Infinity Ward game. We're kind of more into the Treyarch stuff. Now that I think about it, because didn't the last map pack have like the skate park and stuff like that?
Yeah, for us, for Black Ops 2.
Yeah. So you know what? Dreary was not what I wanted to describe. That I'm thinking of in Modern Warfare 3. There was like this one map that was in the middle of like a park, and I didn't like that map. So anyway, whatever.
Search and destroy.
But yeah, those are the 4 new maps, and obviously, with every map pack, there is new zombie mode, which for some people is kind of the go-to reason to get one of these map packs. And for this one, there's a new zombie mode called Buried, which is, as they've been doing this, it's pretty unique. I'm glad that I played it for the first time when it was your first time playing it, and we were trying to figure it out, because you kind of start out at the top, and then you just fall down through this mining, thing.
It's a mine shaft. Yeah, you fall down a mine shaft, and you slide for what's a good 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So
good job, squad.
So Zombies is ridiculously popular, and I'm not really a big zombie guy, but how do you think this is compared to some of the other zombie maps that they've done?
Well, I guess to borrow a little bit from our last conversation on the E3 reflection,
right?
Why do people keep buying it? Because they always add something cool. So with zombies there's a huge puzzle to solve. There's some people that don't want to watch a video and they just want to do it themselves, or they take the day off to get it done on the first day and make a video and show everybody. So the puzzle's cool, and there's always some added elements. They add a new gun, or they add a new type of special mob. Like in Buried, there's if you go into this haunted house, there are these girls that attack you, and they really won't kill you. It takes a long time for them to kill you, but what they do is they eat your money. They literally just pickpocket you, so it's really frustrating, and you have to plan it. And the reason to go through that map is actually to get to Pack-a-Punch.
Good job,
man, these hoes always be stealing that money.
Yeah, they're always in pocket. Always in pocket. So it's real tough. It's not real tough, but you have to plan to get to Pack-a-Punch and earn your money there. So that's a fun aspect to it.
Search and destroy.
The character.
What's up with the giant guy?
Yeah, we're calling him Mungo. It's pretty hysterical. He's awesome. You actually feed him liquor to break down barricades.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, man. It's a nice little addition to the game.
So the new gun that came with it is the Death Ray gun. Is that what it's called?
Well, there's 2 actually. They put the Remington in it, which is awesome for most zombie players that enjoy using the 5.7, or enjoy using the Magnum, which they call a Python. In the game, it's kind of a mix between those. It's a Magnum that's got the accuracy of a 5.7. And it will shoot through multiple zombies and upgrade it. It's absolutely disgusting. And then the Death Ray is actually it's called a paralyzer. And it'll basically hold a whole group of zombies together while your team just balls them down, and eventually it'll kill them too. The nice part of it doesn't have any ammo.
So here's the thing about it. So I obviously we played it together for the first time without looking into that type of stuff, or I didn't anyway. So I was able to get that Death Ray gun twice, and both times I noticed that it was kind of stopping the mob, and eventually they would die. I just didn't understand the way the ammo worked, because it felt like it was unlimited, but at the same time, it had a recharge, but I never felt like I knew that it was recharged or that it needed to recharge. I guess they could have done a better job with that. Am I wrong? Do we figure it out, or? Yeah,
there's a little timer on it. That's on the top of the gun when you aim down the sight with it, so you can only see where you're aiming down the sight.
On the gun, okay. So, I mean, I just feel like that's kind of. I mean, I get it. No, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's cool. Now that I know, I just feel like, with every other gun, it tells you what you have for ammo, somewhere on the HUD, and they probably should have done it there. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, that's a fair opinion. I agree with it. I mean, the first time I picked it up, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to figure out.
And I guess I didn't realize I was using it wrong. I was definitely using it wrong. I was trying to use it thinking that you just slowly killed them, not realizing that kind of freezes them. So if I had to do it all over, which I'm sure we will at some point, obviously if I get that gun, I'll just freeze them and hope somebody else can pick them off.
Yeah, it's definitely a teammate weapon.
Yeah,
that's absolutely for sure.
So the only other thing that for me was a little bit of frustration while we were playing is there's a lot of parts that you pick up as you kind of go around to build different traps and stuff like that, and like I feel like you have to be in like just this absolute very specific place to actually pick it up. Like I would walk over it and I would spend so much time trying to find the exact right like millimeter that I'd be able to press X to pick up the part. I don't know, maybe that was just me, but I just ran into that a couple times where I probably spent more time doing it than I needed to.
Okay, yeah, I mean I can agree with that. I mean that's kind of a zombies thing too, though. Eventually you learn all these spots and you go look at it and you pick it up. You definitely have to be like aiming at it, quote unquote. So, but yeah, no, I agree. There's a little bit of frustration there. I personally didn't have any, but I can remember a couple of Call of Duties ago where they started adding these traps that we could make, where it was some frustration. But I think it's something you just kind of get used to.
So here's the thing. Now, I feel like they're trying different things pretty much with every zombies map they come out with each time. Do you feel like they're going in the right direction? Because the one that sticks out to me is the tower one. The one where you're like going up and down like the high-rise building. Actually,
die-rise.
High-rise?
Die-rise.
Yeah. Or sky. Oh, die-rise. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one. This one, I didn't get far enough into it, but I feel like it was definitely a step in a better direction than die-rise. I feel like, and maybe obviously it's the point, but I feel like die-rise is very claustrophobic. And in that regard, it could be a little unforgiving. This one can feel claustrophobic, but obviously the whole point is to open up more space. Once you kind of open up that initial perimeter where you can, go circles around from like the jail and the tavern, and get to it from all sides, I think it's a little bit better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think what you got was familiarity with it.
Sure.
Die-rise was a little difficult because it was all hallways.
Right.
And honestly, until you knew it cold, you didn't really know what hallway you were in.
UAV on standby.
Right.
So that was definitely a little bit more of a complex map. And in a different fashion, Buried is too. But you'll learn landmarks. And you start recognizing, okay, I can connect these two landmarks. So I take this route to get there. And like, oh man, I just found a shortcut. It'll be a lot easier for people to learn.
So, yeah, I think that pretty much
Friendly UAV inbound.
wraps it up with Buried. I mean, unless you have anything else to add to it.
No, not really. I mean, I would say I'm still a novice at Buried. We haven't either gone for a high round rating or for the Easter egg yet again, so I don't have a ton to offer on Buried. But I'm more excited about the multiplayer maps in general.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good map pack. I mean, if you had to go on a 10 scale as a Call of Duty player, what would you say it ranks for you?
7.5.
7.5?
Yeah, I don't even have to think about it.
Yeah. What do you think they could have done better?
Again, I would have liked to see if they're going to do a reskin.
Yeah.
I'd like to see. Yeah, I'd say 4.5. You know what I mean? Give me 4.5 maps.
Or even give you two reskins.
Okay, so, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with the two popular reskins, which they did do in Modern Warfare 2. They gave us the two most popular Call of Duty 4 maps in one map pack, and then for new maps. I'd like to see that. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if I'm really qualified to give it a number rating because they're all the same to me. If that's fair. I would say I probably enjoyed this one more than any of the other ones that I've gotten so far. I've definitely played more of it in the first week than I have with the other ones. And I don't know if that's just a coincidence because you guys played it a little bit more, it seems. It feels like more of your group went out and actually got this one than some of the other map packs.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I enjoyed it. I kind of like, the videos that I put up, obviously we're playing against bots, and it was really just to have fucking an awesome time.
Yeah.
Which it was. We're doing 4-on-8, and just calling on all these ridiculous kill streaks was a lot of fun, I'm one of those type of people that, I like a challenge and everything, but I also like going just absolute beast mode too. So that was actually a lot of fun for me.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons to do bots on like a lower difficulty with some higher kill streaks is there's actually a tactical advantage to finding it, because with orbital VSATs, which are a must, right, and something like dogs or a swarm, you get to see where all the respawn points are. So when everybody goes off, like when the three of us went off with all our kill streaks,
right,
I pressed the back button to open up the map and watched where all the respawns were.
Sure.
So the reason we do it is tactically to see where everything respawns, to see where more of the choke lanes are. So even though they're bots, they're still set up to act somewhat like humans, just with horrible aim. So actually, a lot like I was just gonna say, a lot like you. That's funny.
Well, I guess it kind of beat you to it. So,
yeah, man. It also allows us to run around a lot.
Sure.
Which we get to see more of the map in a faster mode than just say, oh wow, let's just drop in with no bots and walk around for a bit.
Awaiting orders.
So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I guess I never really thought of it that way. So, Vengeance, it's out there now for all you Xbox owners. Obviously, Microsoft has that month of exclusivity. So if you have the Season Pass and an Xbox 360, you probably have already downloaded Vengeance now. And if you haven't, why did you spend money on the Season Pass if you're not going to take advantage of all this extra time? So I definitely say go get it. I don't know if it's in the store yet for people that don't have the Season Pass. Is it only like a week? You know what?
It's definitely available already.
All right, so it's available for everybody?
Yep, you basically, for Season Pass holders, you get just like an extended weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so, and yeah, for all you guys on the PC and PlayStation 3, you'll be able to get your hands on it probably next month, August. So, sorry. I think it's kind of shitty. It's obviously not going anywhere. I don't really like any of these exclusive deals. I really feel like you're telling one section of fan, hey, this section of fan is better than you because they bought it on this console.
Oh, well, they're actually saying that Microsoft spent more money to get it.
No, I mean, I get that, but I mean, at the same time, I just, like, I hated it when, I hated it, so, to show you I'm fair about it, like, I hate it that Battlefield did it with PlayStation 3 this time around, and it wasn't even a month like it is on Call of Duty. It was only a week. So I mean, PlayStation 3 got the map packs a week before the PC and Xbox, and with Battlefield 4, that exclusivity is going to be on the Xbox One. So I mean, and I'm still kind of against it. You know, it benefits me, no doubt about it, but I just think it's kind of shitty, but hey, whatever. Microsoft wants to spend their money that way, then so be it. I think they're definitely the best place to play the first-person shooter. So, console war.
Yeah, I mean, the competition is a good thing for all gamers.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know. I just think it's kind of shitty to tell one fan, hey, you have to wait, and another fan that they can do it right this second. So whatever. But yeah, man. I think I've pretty much hit on everything I want to talk about. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm just I'm really happy about the map pack, and for those of you that are sketchy or get sketchy about buying extra content, this is one that's worth buying.
Sweet. So there you go. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Vengeance map pack. That wraps up episode 2. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
I suspect this place was a ghost town long before the tectonic shift. Perhaps we could assemble some kind of device to pry the cell door from its hinges? I think his own fear may have led him to lock himself inside the cell. Personally, I do not care for this stuff, but it is not without its uses. From your complexion, I suspect that your appetite for alcohol is,